is truly a blessing to welcome you to the 159th North Central College Baccalaureate ceremony. This occasion creates space for us to pause before all the wonderful pomp and circumstance and celebrating that will happen later this afternoon. Regardless of your beliefs or religious tradition, I invite you to use this time to reflect with gratitude on this day and the many days that have led up to this moment. Class of 2024, reflect on what you have learned, how you have grown, and the many blessings in your life. Reflect too on the people who have helped you to prepare for this day: classmates, faculty, family, friends, and community. Most of all, be at peace in this moment together. To help us move deeper into reflection, I invite one of our graduates to lead us in prayer. Today is Pascha, or Resurrection Sunday for Orthodox Christians. On this joyous holiday in her faith tradition, Paige Kalantzis will share a prayer that is in keeping with the joy that we all feel on this very blessed morning. Paige.
Today, I celebrate Resurrection Sunday, or Pascha, with Orthodox Christians around the world. The celebration of the resurrection of Jesus Christ is central to Christians as a sign of God's wonderful mercy and God's ability to transform even the darkest moments of life. Hear these hopeful words from the Pascha liturgy. It is the day of resurrection. Let us be radiant for the festival, and let us embrace one another. Let us say, O breathe-in, even to those that hate us. Let us forgive all things on the resurrection, and let us cry, Christ is risen from the dead. By death he has trampled down death, and on those in the tombs he has bestowed life. May we embrace hope, light, and one another today and every day. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed colleagues, proud parents and graduates, it is with great honor and privilege that I stand before you today to introduce a remarkable individual whose journey embodies the spirit of curiosity, compassion, and ethical leadership. As we gather here today at North Central College's Baccalaureate ceremony to celebrate the achievements of our graduating seniors, I am humbled to share insights into the extraordinary character and contributions of our speaker, Jessica Finas. I have had the distinct privilege of working closely with Jessica, serving as her mentor, and witnessing firsthand the depth of her commitment to both her academic pursuits and her peers' growth and development. As my research assistant and preceptor and friend, Jessica has demonstrated unparalleled diligence and empathy, going above and beyond to support her fellow research team members and students in my class. Jessica's innate ability to foster understanding and facilitate growth among her peers is a testament to her exceptional leadership qualities and genuine concern for the well-being of others. Her willingness to extend a helping hand, coupled with her boundless enthusiasm for learning, has undoubtedly left a lasting impact on all of those fortunate enough to cross her path. As Jessica prepares to embark on the next chapter of her journey, I have no doubt that her profound sense of curiosity, compassion, and ethics will continue to guide her towards unparalleled success and fulfillment. It is with this immense sense of pride and admiration that I introduce to you today our speaker, Jessica Finas.
A quote written by the great scholar, author, and rabbi, Irving Greenberg reads, "The proper resonance, as Hanukkah teaches, is not to stir the darkness, but to light a candle." Our college seal depicts a lamp representing light and a book representing truth. It is these events that connect us with leaders and explore important issues in a spirit of truth while spreading light into the world as a means to live out our purpose. The light from the lamp, which draws us together, can feel strangely similar to the light at the end of the tunnel, a light that sometimes seems so distant. My peers' dark times occurred when they struggled to stand together during dining hall meals that resembled deconstructed meatloaf, food poisoning from undercooked chicken, living in a dorm room the size of shoeboxes, and struggling to make sense of the war in Palestine and political division in our nation. For me, dark times existed when I moved halfway across the country at 18 during a pandemic while the world was still shut down. I lived in a spider-infested house. I experienced the traditional loss of friendship that occurs in life transitions. And even darker still, as a Jewish woman in the United States, I was frightened when the people who I thought were closest to me began to advertise misinformation on their socials and senselessly discuss a conflict based on biased information that didn't quite pertain to them. Yet at times, light shines at North Central. For example, while I was precepting for my dating communication class, I was overjoyed when one very quiet student shared connections he was making about respect and ghosting in relationships. Little light is in joys like dialogue and learning the specifics of personal identity and communication in psychology classes. Outside of the classroom, seeing a tough, closed-off student make connections between hypermasculine communication and his communication patterns. We as a community have had moments of light as well. We inaugurated our first woman president at North Central. We hosted the 25th annual Putnam Spelling Bee. Nearly 100 students presented their research at this year's Ross Symposium. We won the 2022 NCAA Division III Football National Championships, and we placed first in women's triathlon in 2022 and 2023. One of the many reasons why learning is essential is because it fuels the light. With learning, we can bypass the hatred and misunderstanding that is perpetuated by our ignorance and inexperience. Light is enabled by learning. Our school's mission statement reads as follows: "We are a diverse community of learners dedicated to preparing students to be curious, engaged, ethical, and purposeful citizens and leaders in local, national, and global contexts." Light has the ability to lift strife and end conflict. Knowledge has the power to evoke hope and fortitude. For many, higher education and ultimately the knowledge that leads to the light is not an option due to financial instability, lack of parental support, lack of social support and resources. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, 61.8% of recent high school graduates enrolled in college, but only 4 in 10 of those students graduated with a bachelor's degree, according to Pew Research. I have made it my mission in my career after graduation to try to make the inaccessible more accessible, to be a light to those who are without, to be a voice to those who are without access to pivotal learning opportunities. Providing an individual the opportunity to learn can make solutions more obvious. Education allows the building environments and creation of light for others through community, stability, and support. With the knowledge learned, we can all help to solve the systematic problems of inequity within the education system. Teaching, learning, and being curious can help solve the problems of ignorance and misunderstanding. I encourage you to join me in this mitzvah. The literal meaning of Hebrew word mitzvah is commandment, but the generally accepted interpretation is good deed. The emphasis is on deeds, not positive thoughts or wishes. The light is the passing of opportunity from one class to the next, from one neighbor to another, and it is knowledge that can be used to light our path and the path of those behind us. A quote by James Keller reads, "A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle," and I encourage you as graduates to thoughtfully act to provide the same opportunities for others that we have had here.
cicada summers coming, the winds of change are humming. We watch the moon in the middle of the day. Was this all preparation, or each day a celebration? These are the thoughts that haunt the start of May. God's doing a new thing. You are my blessing. And now, yes, now I hear the hymn, life's begun, let's begin. Like air breathes along, we go on. Like fire burns each dawn, we go on. We go on. The geese are loud above us, the ground below is of us. We are the song of wondrous things, and the miracles I believe in are the ordinary reasons we lift our voice in the symphony. All I know's God's doing a new thing. You are my blessing. And now, yes, now I hear the hymn, life abounds, let's begin. Like the air breathes along, we go on. Like fire burns each dawn, we go on. We go on. And it's warm, the light in this place. It's God in this room, teaching us faith. And it's small, the breath that I take, your hand in mine, through all the mistakes. And it's loud, the fear that I fear, but louder's the song of the world drawing near. And it's now the truth I hold dear, the love that I found, the hope that is here. Like air breathes along, we go on. Like fire burns each dawn, we go on. We go on. We go on. We go on.
It is my pleasure to introduce Salman Karindo. Salman is a non-traditional student in the phrase of academics, but I like to think of him as someone who is unique. His story led to his graduation in December of 23 of this year, but we are having him back to celebrate with us today. He was also recently named the Outstanding Student in Global Education. He's a current case manager at World Relief, a service organization in Aurora, and that reflects both his training and his life, which we'll get to in just a moment. But I did want to take a second and recognize his cheering team, who I think are outside watching on the video, I'm going to guess there they are in the back. I want to say hi. 3 amazing daughters who are with him today, and soon to be a 4th child. When is that coming up? In July. We're so glad to have you all today. Say hi, they appreciate it. One of the amazing things about Salmani and his story is how he even got to be here. He is truly a miracle in and of himself. Coming from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and then to Burundi, and to Kenya, and finally finding his way to a space where he could really grow and to take advantage of the opportunities he had. And we have seen that over and over from him. My colleague, Julie Carballo, who works with our first-generation students, where Salmani was active, says he is a person of unique wisdom. And I think a genuinely incredible person. And I am so thankful we get to hear from him today. Salman.
Good morning, North Central College family, distinguished guests, and my fellow graduates. It's a great honor to stand before you today as we mark this important event in our life. As we gather here today, we are reminding of our journey we have undertaken together. For the past several years, we have navigated through a lot of challenge, countless lectures, late-night studying session, and the challenges exams. But by God's grace, we made it. Let me take this opportunity to thank God for being with us through this journey. God has provided strength, perseverance during our time here at North Central College, and He will continue to be with us in any circumstance. Amen that. The event of today makes me want to reflect on God's overwhelming goodness. Ever since I was young, I had the dream of being able to get an education. Because where I was at, even primary school education was only that simple a dream. I'll not be here today if it was for God's power to help me to overcome barriers and challenges. Born into a poor family in Congo, facing war at a young age, living in different refugee camps, sometimes spending days without food, with no place to sleep, but I've never lost my dream about education. In Philippians 1:13, the Bible says, I can do all things through him who gives me strength. This verse serves as a reminder of the power of faith, perseverance, and the belief that with spiritually strength, one can overcome challenge and achieve their goals. During my academic journey here at North Central College, I was a full-time student, working full-time on night shift and full-time dad. If I would have tried to do this by my own power, I would have failed. This verse has been a source of inspiration and motivation, particularly in the time of difficult or when I'm facing challenges. In this journey of education, there was a time where I had to travel by foot 8 miles to go to school, which meant 16 miles a day of working. It was an opportunity that I could not miss. It was the only chance for education that I was given because it was being provided by missionaries. Let me encourage you. Don't let all challenges you are facing stop you from achieving your goals. Believe me, don't think that because we are graduating today, that's all our challenges are over. Challenges will continue. It may be at workplace, it maybe your resume gets rejected, or maybe other circumstances in your life. Use those challenges in your life to push you forward. God has planned for you. He made you and He loves you more than anyone else ever could. Fellow graduates, today is not just about celebrating our academic achievement. It's also about reflecting on the value that have guided us along this journey. Value like perseverance, hard work, and determination have been the cornerstone of our education, shaping not only our minds but also our characters. As we prepare for the next chapter of our life, let us remember the lesson we have learned here. Let us never forget the importance of lifelong learning, the power of kindness, never give up, and the impact we can have on the world around us. When I first came to this country, my English was very limited, but I chose not to give up. I had to go through ESL programs so that I'll be able to go to college. Fellow graduates, let us never lose sight of our dreams. Each of us has unique talent, passion, and the aspiration that drive us forward. So, as we are leaving this institution behind, let us carry us with us the courage to purpose those dreams, knowing that everything is possible with God. In closing, I want to express my deepest gratitude to everyone who has supported us to this journey, to our families, teachers, mentors, and friends. Thank you for believing in us, encouraging us, and the cheers on us every step of the way. Congratulations, class of 2024. As we stand on the brink of the new beginning, let us embrace the future with hope, optimism, and a sense of purpose. The world is waiting on us to make our marks, and I have no doubt that we will rise to the challenge. Thank you.
As we go into a time of musical reflection, please remain seated and reflect or join us in the singing of Go Light Your World on your program.
There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold. There is a spirit who brings fire, ignites a candle, and makes its home. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle, go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world. Frustrated brother, see how he's tried to light his own candle some other way. See now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still holds a candle without a flame. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle, go light your world. Carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations to the 2024 graduating class. Today, I have the honor and privilege of introducing one of my greatest mentors and supporters, Dr. Carl Kelly. Dr. Kelly is a professor of psychology and is a Harold and Ava White Distinguished Professor in the Liberal Arts. He arrived at the college in 1988 and had plans to only stay for 4 or 5 years. But if you've ever had a meeting with him, you'll know that sometimes his timelines are not always that accurate, and things can last a little longer than planned. However, I think I can speak for just about everyone by saying we are so lucky he never left. Dr. Kelly received his Bachelor's of Science, Master's of Science, and PhD from Virginia Commonwealth University. Now he enjoys teaching a variety of courses, including statistics, industrial organizational psychology, personality, and psychological assessment. He is an esteemed academic with numerous publications in his name. He has also completed and supervised more research projects than we have time to list, but primarily focuses on how we can yield high-performing and healthy teams based on topics such as interpersonal trust, justice, and positive psychology principles. Other than being an outstanding professor with immense dedication to his students, Dr. Kelly serves as a faculty mentor for the women's lacrosse team here. He also works with our first-generation college program. Outside of academia, Dr. Kelly enjoys spending time with his loved ones. He is passionate about bike riding and operationally defines a quick bike ride as 20 miles. Today, Dr. Kelly will be speaking on truth and light and will be giving us his interpretation of the two and how they relate to our lives. Dr. Kelly is truly an amazing individual who works to make the world a better place every single day, and I am very blessed to have known him these past 3 years. Please help me in welcoming my mentor and one of the most amazing human becomings, Dr. Carl Kelly.
A little emotional right now. Thank you, Erica. I felt very honored when Eric Doolittle asked me to talk today, and I wasn't sure what to talk about. I can talk about statistics, but somehow that didn't seem to fit. Reverend Doolittle suggested that I talk about truth and light. I thought, great idea. And then he casually mentioned, you have about 10 minutes. Yeah, Erica mentioned my timeline thing. We'll see how this goes. So, okay, here we go. Truth and light in 10 minutes. I don't know what truth is. I think it's uncertain. I have little confidence in my predictions for the future. I'm not sure what's going to happen. It's a little dark, a little scary. I don't know how you're feeling right now, wondering about the path to future you, your job, relationships, other things might seem a bit fuzzy. But this has always been true. But the uncertainty today is a little bit different. We face new challenges embedded in a constant stream of information. It's hard to parse out the good parts, what's important, and what's accurate. So how do we navigate through this fog of uncertainty? Okay, that part was a little depressing. Maybe the next part will be a little bit better. In 1861, our college was founded to be a moral lighthouse, sending out a clear and steady light upon all subjects. Our first 40 students and 3 faculty members began this mission. we need light. We always need light. The college is the lighthouse. That's the structure. But it is us that create the light. If we have done our jobs well here, you need to be the source of that light. The light begins with curiosity. You generate light when you ask questions, when you seek to understand. As you encounter those who have different views, beliefs, practices, try to get to know their story. The questions that you ask are important, but the hard part is actually listening. I mean, really listening. You have to listen to their responses, not think about what you are going to say next, not think about how you are going to defend your position and why they are wrong. How does it feel when someone really listens to you, when you feel heard? It makes me feel good, and that's a spark of light. Your light is enhanced with appreciation and awe. When you look for the good, you start to find it. It is a beautiful world out there, and it's filled with so many beautiful people. Look up from your screens. Take some time to notice those who are around you and the natural beauty that is everywhere. I feel lighter when I see the good. And that's been the greatest part of my job here. I get to see so much good every day in the people that I work with and their amazing stories that they share with me and their journeys. It gives me hope for the future. And your light becomes focused when you cultivate your passion. The word passion is very important to me, and I think it is often misunderstood. Passion is not just a positive emotion, something you feel when you're doing something you like. Oh, I get to do statistics. Oh, I get to read about industrial organizational psychology. That's a good feeling, but it's not passion. Passion comes from the Greek word paseo, meaning to suffer or endure. Healthy passion is when you invest time and energy into something that is greater than self, an idea, a cause, a person. It's not easy. Your path forward is not easy. To shed light is not easy. If you do it well, you will suffer. You will encounter obstacles along the way, frustrations, and you will often question your decision. But that's an important part of the light. But when you have found something worth suffering for, we will all be better. Think of the passion of Christ. Find something worth suffering for. So go forth, work on your light. Be curious, look for the good, and find something worth suffering for. Then we make the world a better place. Thank you.
I'm tempted, as a frustrated preacher, to fill in the extra time that I now have from Dr. Kelly. But I think he said everything that needed to be said. I'm so thankful for him, for our student speakers, for our musicians, for everyone participating today. Thank you. Since our name change to North Central College in 1826, the seal of our college, which you hopefully have been seeing on the slides, has borne the phrase lux veritas, Latin for light and truth. These symbols for the fundamental ideals are a candle, actually a lamp, and a book. From our foundation, the symbol of light was essential to our understanding. When our first president, A.A. Smith, talked about a great moral lighthouse, he meant it. In 1861, with the Civil War looming, Smith and his colleagues were ardent and vocal abolitionists. To aid the cause of justice, they founded a co-educational school to train leaders committed to justice and the well-being of all humanity, accepting men and women to the cause, only the second college in Illinois to do so. The tradition of spreading light challenged generations of students to serve the oppressed, to challenge injustice, and to go out into the world when days seem dark. Today, our graduating class will pass this candle, this lamp, this light to leaders from the class. Our graduating class will receive it as the graduating class of 2024 on behalf of the previous 158 graduating classes, as a reminder of those who passed on before them and passed on that desire to spread light on our campus and into the world. Your alma mater is also dedicated to truth. A college must be a place for the pursuit of truth as one of its highest ideals and to fulfill its calling. This truth comes from academic rigor, from open dialogue, from valuing diversity, equity, and inclusion, and from constant vigilance to our values and ideals in all matters. Today, our graduating class will pass this container of truth, this book, to the continuing students, as a reminder of those who have worked so hard to share truth with you in this place, the staff, faculty, trustees, administration, and alumni of North Central College. We now welcome representatives of the class of 2024 to join me. Paige Koziel is the president of the Student Governing Association, and Elena Buscher is the president of Focus. Elena and Paige, on behalf of the graduating class of 2024, you received these symbols of Lux Veritas, light and truth, from those who came before, alumni and community members. Will you strive to embody these values every day as you go into the world? If so, say, I will. We thank you and this graduating class of 2024 for embodying these ideals during your time on our campus. As you transition from student to graduate to alumni, may these ideals dwell within you. May you carry light and truth into the world for all people. May your words and deeds reflect positively on your alma mater, on your fellow graduates, and to everyone you meet. We now invite representatives from the continuing student body to join us. Jadon Brown will be the president for the Student Governing Association, and Maisha Marzan is the vice president of the Muslim Student Association. Jadon and Maisha, on behalf of the continuing students of North Central College, will you receive these symbols of Lux Veritas, light and truth, and strive to embody their ideals to your current classmates and all those who will join us in the future? If so, say, I will. The continuing students will remain here on stage, while representatives from the graduating class will join their classmates. After our closing prayer, the graduating class and stage party are going to recess. We ask that everyone remain in place until we've all gotten out. Please rise as you are able for a final benediction. God of light and truth, bless this graduating class of North Central College with Lux Veritas, light to guide them and encourage them, truth to challenge them and embolden them. May they carry these fundamentals in their hearts and minds into a world desperate for both. As we leave this place to continue our commemoration of their accomplishments, may we go forth into the world to do well and to do good. All these blessings I ask for them in the name of God, Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer.